I am the Director of Women in Ministry at First Presbyterian in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so that involves a lot of overseeing discipleship and discipling certain women on my own, and then teaching the Bible and gathering women and connecting them, building fellowship in the church. So it's a multifaceted role. When I was a sophomore in college, the Lord, in a very clear way, spoke to me by His Spirit out of Isaiah 40. The beginning verses about comfort my people, and speak tenderly to Jerusalem, and declare to her that her warfare is ended. And from that moment on, I didn't know how God would shape gospel ministry in my life, but I knew that He had called me to follow Him in a particular way that involved bringing a message of comfort to those who had been exiles. The immediate aspect of my job that energizes me is studying God's Word and teaching God's Word to women who are engaged in ministry that isn't full-time occupational ministry, but in the day-to-day ministry of ministering to their children, ministering to their aging parents, ministering to their husbands. One of the most specific ways that Gordon-Conwell prepared me is not only in giving me a wealth of content and a strong message, but also a strong method. And so the professors who would teach, for example, the exegesis courses, would not only be giving us the message that we ought to get from the exegesis courses, but they themselves would be part of the method. They demonstrated a strong love for Jesus Christ, such that they were not only making Him known, but they were knowing Him. In terms of what I would tell someone considering seminary, that would vary upon the person. I'll think of an example. I spoke with a young girl last week who was considering seminary, and in her case, because I know her, and probably mostly because I know me, I was encouraging her that it would be a wonderful time, and it would be conducive to a lot of fellowship with the Lord, and also to beware that we want to gain the knowledge that doesn't puff up, but the love that builds up. I can't help but contain how thankful I was for my seminary experience, and so whenever anybody is telling me they're going to seminary, I sort of bombastically burst into joy and tell them about how thankful I am for what God accomplished in my life. And it really was a time that was surprisingly formative. I knew it would be formative in terms of how I would phrase theological statements or cast a theological vision, but I didn't understand, and there was really no way for me to understand how formative it would be in terms of how I worship Christ and how I devote my life to Christ. And so the affection for Jesus that God stirred up in my heart by the power of His Spirit at seminary was something unexpected and profound, and I pray that will last until all eternity.